Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about the professional internship opportunities at either the Disneyland Resort or the Walt Disney World Resort, as well as in other departments of the Walt Disney Company. So as some of you know, I participated in a 6-month internship program at the Disneyland Resort for Walt Disney Corporate. This took place from roughly January 2018 until June 2018. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the process, how long the application took, tips and tricks for helping with the interview, and then I'll make another video about what the experience was actually like. So the beginning of the process essentially starts with you looking at the Disney Careers website. The Disney Careers website is super comprehensive. It doesn't matter where you live in the world, you will always be able to find opportunities in basically all the countries that Disney operates, which is quite a lot. And you can filter by job type, you can filter by what department you'd be interested in working for, as well as things like whether you'd want to work at a park or in corporate, or even for something like Imagineering, which is out of Glendale and some parts of Asia. So the first thing you want to do is sort of narrow down where you are in your career goals. Do you want to pursue your major more? Do you want to maybe branch out and try something new? I will say that if you are in college, you can certainly apply for a professional internship, but if you have recently graduated, unfortunately the window to apply is about 6 months after your graduation date. So if you recently graduated, you have about 6 months of leeway to apply for an internship with the Walt Disney Company. Obviously, I don't know if any exceptions have or haven't been made, but that is the knowledge that I was given when applying. I applied for my internship program roughly in about October, so that would have been about 5 months after I graduated. So that's something that is super important. So if you're a year out of college, unfortunately, there probably won't be an opportunity for you, but you can certainly look for either a full-time or part-time opportunity, and that way you're actually like a full-time or part-time hire permanently. So I applied for the Talent Acquisition Analytics internship with the Walt Disney Company, and that took place at the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim in their Team Disney building. And basically what I did was I went online and I filled out my application, and Disney, like many other companies, uses an ATS system, which basically will look through your resume and qualifications and use certain keywords that they will take out and assign a score to. So essentially, if you fit the job description in some way through your experience and allude to that when you fill out your work experience and work history, Disney's going to pick up on that, and most likely you will get put through to the next stage of the process. So when you submit your application, it goes into an in-submission stage, at which time you will be let know via email by a recruiter if they decide to move forward with your application. All internships are different with the Walt Disney Company in terms of each process is different. The amount of interviews is different. I've heard of people having upwards of 4 interviews. I only had about 3. I would say plan for at least 2 interviews, if not 3. And one of the things that the Walt Disney Company does is perform a phone screen. And basically the point of the phone screen is to make sure that you are who you say you are and just sort of get a very high level overview of your background, your skills, and why you want to work for Disney. So when I had my phone screen, someone called me from Florida, and basically it was like a 10 to 15 minute conversation, and we talked about things like whether I graduated from college, what sorts of things I'm interested in, why I want to work for Disney, basic behavioral type questions. The next interview was conducted by my former supervisor during my internship, and she sort of explained more about the role, as well as sort of went more in depth into the questions that I saw on my phone screen. So specifically why I want to work for Disney, how have I worked with data in the past. My internship was extremely data heavy, so it was a lot of questions about how do you organize data, what sorts of challenges you have as a learner, how you excel in a team setting, stuff like that. So if you've had a job interview before, plan on having something similar with Disney. And then finally, the last interview took place with her boss. And either you'll get interviewed by your supervisor's boss or the hiring manager or the department head, someone who is more senior in the corporate rank, and they will basically introduce themselves, and it'll be more of a logistical interview because at that point they've most likely narrowed down who they are interested in hiring. My biggest advice for interviewing is be yourself and really show that you want to work for Disney, because Disney takes itself very seriously, it takes their employees very seriously, and they want to make sure that you are a good fit, whether that's an on-stage role in the park or an off-stage role, or backstage role as we call it in corporate. So you want to make sure that your personality shines through. Don't necessarily fake it till you make it. Like, they obviously want someone who's genuine, but someone who feels confident in the role and wants to help contribute to the legacy of the company. So those are probably my biggest interview tips. So the whole process for me took about 2 months or so, and for some people it can take even longer than that. For other people it could be shorter than that. So please don't take my word for it in terms of how long it's going to take to find out whether you landed a position or not. I will say, if you apply for multiple positions, it won't necessarily hurt you, but you do want to make sure that you're really applying to stuff that you could see yourself excelling in. They don't want someone to apply for a costuming internship if they don't have any experience in costuming. If your background is in marketing, maybe apply for stuff that is marketing related. So my background is in marketing, but a lot of marketing is about data analytics. So that kind of tied together why I applied for a data analytics internship. And you know what? If you don't get your internship the first time around, especially if you're still in college, do keep your hopes up. They do like to see it when people continuously apply. So make sure that you are checking the jobs page every so often and putting an application out there. There are some rules as to the window of time which you can reapply for something. It's usually around 6 months. So following that rule about graduation, if you didn't get it the first time around, chances are you're probably going to have to apply for a full-time position with the company, since that 6-month window from your graduation has actually expired. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. Otherwise, if you do get your internship, you are officially part of the company, or as we say, you're a cast member with the company. They're going to send you a bunch of information regarding where your internship will be, information about your onboarding. You'll get an offer letter from your supervisor, and from that point you will negotiate a start date. They'll give you more information on pay and things like that. And of course, if you feel comfortable and if it's appropriate, you can ask your interviewer during the interview about pay and benefits, etc. Disney is pretty standard in terms of paying based on experience. I will say in certain states the minimum wage is different. In California, I believe it's around $9, but I was paid about $16 an hour, and this was something that was a standardized rate for interns. In other places like Florida, it might be less. So just keep that in mind. You are somewhat responsible for paying for your living expenses. If you work in Anaheim for the Disneyland Resort, there are certain positions that fall under the area of corporate, but will still have you located in Anaheim. So I was one of those people. And with that, you can elect to either live with college program, and that'll be another video about the college program and housing and all of that, or you can choose to pay for your own apartment. The more economical option is probably to live with the college program, since their rates are subsidized because they're working at an hourly rate of, I think, $10 or $11. So that being said, there is some financial responsibility that comes from you in terms of how you manage your paychecks and how you pay for your day-to-day living expenses. So that being said, that is a very high-level overview of the Disney internship process. I'll make another video about onboarding and training and traditions and what that includes, but for now, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and ask me anything about the process, or if you are new to the Disney Careers site, I'm more than happy to help, but otherwise, have a magical day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!